In this video learning series, I'll be installing AccuTrack 2017. More specifically, I'll be installing the software. I will then open AccuTrack 2017 the first time, enter an activation code, then log in. It will automatically open to a tutoring sample database running off its own drive. I can go ahead and log into that database if I'd like to. After that, I'm going to show you how to copy a blank AccuData database and the data dictionary that goes with every AccuTrack database onto a server share. Then I'm going to connect to that database on the share, and then I'll show you information about importing data into AccuTrack. This would be for new installs where you're starting with a brand new blank database. If you have an older version of AccuTrack and you want to update that to version 2017, I have a database operations video that will show you how to upscale that older database to a 17 database. Alright, so if your software was sent to you on a USB key, you would have a folder similar to this. If I opened AccuTrack.exe right here, it would open my installer launcher, and from that installer launcher I have the capacity to install AccuTrack 2017 from this interface and find out a lot more information about AccuTrack. If I want to make things simpler, or I'm installing it on different computers, this AccuTrack 2017_dist, dist for distribution, folder has a setup.exe program, so I can run that to install the software. So I'll go ahead and do so. And I'll click Next. Read and accept the license agreement. Click Next. And you can put user and organization information if it's not already populated. Click Next. And I would recommend installing to the default folder. It's Program Files x86, Accu 2017. If it's a 64-bit PC, you would drop the x86 part if it was a 32-bit. I'll click Next. And I would also recommend installing for anyone who uses the computer, all users. So I'll click that, and now the installation will begin. Alright, now it'll say launch the program, check, so I'll just leave that checked and click Finish, and then you'll notice AccuTrack will copy some files out, and then it's going to ask for my activation code. Now that'll be shipped to you when you get the software, or if you're upgrading an older AccuTrack, you're on the support plan, then we'll ship the activation key along with that. But I'll click Yes and paste in my key, click OK. And now AccuTrack is opening to a sample tutoring database, again located on its own drive. I'll log in with the default 9 ones, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones. Press Enter. The password is all caps new, so NEW all caps, Enter. It will warn me that I'm still using the default ID credentials, so I would want to go change those. I'll click OK. And now I've opened AccuTrack. If I go look at my database location, remember I said it was on its own drive, so it's a tutoring sample database, and it creates a AccuTrack and then an I folder underneath C users public documents. That's where the default sample database is stored. So now I'm going to go ahead and exit AccuTrack, and I don't need to back up my sample data, so I'll say no and close that. Now I'm going to go to the folder where AccuTrack 2017 is installed, and that's again C Program Files x86 Accu 2017 as a 64-bit PC. Now the next step is what I'm going to do is copy a blank database and the associated data dictionary that goes with every blank database out to a network share. AccuData is a blank database, and then I copy that and the data dictionary. So I'm going to select those two folders, and then I'm going to go out to my network folder. Now I've got a server here called ENG server. I have a for all folder and then Accu Share 17. So I'm going to paste those two folders underneath there. And that's a UNC path, by the way, which I recommend over a mapped drive letter. Just go ahead and use your / path. All right, so I'm going to go drill down one more level, and this is where my AccuTrack blank database resides. Something else you need to do is for all users or Windows accounts that are going to be logging in and using AccuTrack, they need to have read, write, modify access, in my case to the AccuShare 2017 folder and all folders and files under it. So you want to create read, write, modify here to AccuShare 17 and then all the folders and files under it. So anyway, I'm going to get that path and I'm going to copy that path, and then I'm going to go to, again, to the folder where AccuTrack is installed. I guess I should have left that open, but that's no problem. Now I could log back into my database with ones and new and go change my database location if I wanted to. That's one way of doing it. But also I have a shortcut that I can run and go set my data path without even opening the software. And that's called setDataPath.exe. So I'll go ahead and double click on that. Click Next. It'll be native mode for AccuTrack. And then here again is that tutoring sample running off my own drive. But I'm going to now paste the UNC path to my AccuData blank database that's on my server share. Save that. And it'll say for changes that take effect, I must exit. Well, that's fine. And now I'm going to open AccuTrack. Now it's going to ask for my activation code again, and it will do that if the database path changes in AccuTrack. So if that's the case, then you would just have to go paste those credentials in again. It will store them in the data path, and you won't have to do that again unless you change to a completely different data path. So now I'm logging in. Now you may also notice it says welcome to the center, not welcome to the tutoring sample. So that indicates that it's a different database, a blank database in my case. I go look at my data path to verify that it's set, and it is. And then I'm going to have a database without sample records, but with no records. I have one guest account, and I have no categories, no activities. So this is a completely blank database. It's now ready to be built to have data imported into it. Now, if you're going to be doing that, click on Database right here, and then Import. Now, I don't have any files to import yet, but let's say I want to learn about importing. I can click the button that says Need Help, click here. That'll take us out to our website, and then we have all kinds of information on importing data. So these are the various tables you can import into. We have a zip file with sample import files. I have a video recorded on importing data. If I click on student information, for example, it shows me all of the various fields that are available for me to import into and explanations of those.